Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Navigate Life Mindfully. I'm Ron Demonay, and I'm a life coach. So, what's this podcast about? Why am I doing it? Well, it's pretty simple. Podcast is about learning how to take control of your life, how to navigate day to day life so that it's a little easier, more peaceful, some more fun. As to why I'm doing it, that's pretty simple too, and it really has to do with what's going on in the world today. We live in a very chaotic, stressful world. A lot of things are happening that really bring us down from day to day. All you got to do is turn on the news, and you'll see everything from bad actors killing people to wars to fires to earthquakes and famines, et cetera, et cetera. There are some terrible things going on in the world. There are also a lot of good things in the world. They just don't happen to make the news feed because we tend to focus on the bad things. So we it ends up causing a lot of stress. And stress is one of the number one problems today because it leads to so many health issues, mentally, emotionally, physically. Stress is one of the leading causes of high blood pressure, and then that which leads to heart attacks, or it can even lead to cancer in the body, etc. Stress is something that is just if you don't control it, it'll control you, and it's going to bring you down. So it's not a good thing. I think about my life. I lived a very life that's not. A lot of people my age probably done something very similar. Um, Grew up in a middle class family, went to school, college, um, started a career, married, kids, and everything was just, going along like it's supposed to go, right? Social norms. And everything was great until it wasn't. My wife of 30 years died of cancer. Job of almost 30 years ended abruptly. My kids are grown at this time, they're adults, and so I'm alone. Alone and going into a pretty bad depressed state. And so it was hard to deal with. I was sitting back thinking, what the hell has happened? And what do I do about it? And there wasn't a quick answer. And I lived with that depression and those problems for a long time and stayed in that state of stress until I finally reached a point where I said, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to do something about it. And that's what I did. And I think that happens to a lot of us. A lot of us kind of go through life, we're just kind of going with the flow, etc., until something bad really shakes us up. And then we say, whoa, I got to do something different. I got to make some changes. And so that's what happened to me. I got to make some changes. What do I want to do with my life? What am I passionate about? How can I make a difference in this world? And so I did. I did a lot of studying of myself, and what I came to realize is, I really like helping people help themselves. It just gives me a good feeling. And that led me to life coaching, which is where I am now, and I enjoy the hell out of it. It's just something I love to do, and it feels like I've got a new lease on life, and all of a sudden, life is good. Life does have purpose, and it can be that way for anybody. It's really a matter of digging in, learning a little bit about yourself, learning about the things you're passionate about, and then diving in and doing it. And so that's why I'm doing the podcast. So the goals of the podcast are pretty simple. First, I want to help people understand that you're not a victim. It's real easy to feel like a victim. All you got to do is just turn on the news again and just see how bad things are, and you think, there is nothing I can do about this. I'm just tossed around like a cork in a storm. But the truth is, there is something you can do about it. We're not victims. We live in the information age and we get bombarded with news, most of it bad, and we get bombarded with social media, and that's kind of an interesting aspect of life nowadays because there's so much in social media right now that kind of destroys your self-image. You see all these quote beautiful people living beautiful lives and taking these selfies and doing these fun TikToks, and life is just so perfect, and it's not for you. But you compare yourself to other people and you think, God, this is the way most people live. My life sucks. Well, I got a spoiler alert for you. It's not the way most people live. All of these little Instagrams and TikToks and selfies and all that stuff, it's acted, it's staged, it's bullshit. But unfortunately, we get sucked into it, and we get sucked into comparing ourselves to other people and how life is for us, and it's all bad. And then we become that victim. Well, you're not a victim. You can make changes in your life. You just have to set that intention. Make the intention, okay, I'm going to change things. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to bring something new and good into my life and do it. Second goal of the podcast is to give you some tools to do this, tools to navigate life from day to day so that you just don't feel like you're alone in the wilderness. You've got things you can do to help yourself. And then the third goal of the podcast is to prove to you that it's possible. It is truly possible to do this. This isn't just a rah-rah, feel-good session. Oh, yeah, life can be great, et cetera, et cetera. It's a lot more than this. You can make changes in your life. You can do it. There's a way to do it. But you got to put in the work. Life feels kind of lonely at times. It's kind of tough. So sometimes you need somebody to help you. You need a coach. You need somebody that can keep you on the right track, can help you kind of ferret out, okay, what is it I really want to do? What is it I don't want to do, et cetera, et cetera. And help you set some goals and, again, keep you accountable. Well, that's what a coach does. So if you don't have the time or the resources, et cetera, to have your own personal life coach, I can be your life coach. So tune in. It's easy. It's free. 10 or 15 minutes once a week, and we'll talk about things. I'll give you some ideas, some tools, and then the rest of the time you can start working on those things. And so it's a way to approach life better. So the format of the podcast is going to go something like this. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet in the 10 to 15 minute range. Hopefully it makes you think, gives you some ideas so that you can have these aha moments, encourage you to want to learn more. Of course, just listening is not going to do it. You got to put in the work. And so one aspect of the podcast is I'm going to give you an assignment every week. And sometime during the week, when you have a chance, I want you to dig into that, help you learn a little bit more about yourself and maybe where you want to move in life. So let's talk about that assignment for this week. So the goal of this assignment is to help you learn how to shift your perspective and see things in a new way. So that's how you make changes in your life. I love this quote from Buckminster Fuller, and I'm going to read it so that I don't mess it up. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. God, I think this is brilliant. We tend to just fight against things. We fight against what is. We know wherever we put our attention, that's where our energy goes. And so if you're putting all your energy there, you're not putting your energy onto something that would be positive, that would move you in a positive direction. So if there's an aspect of your life that you don't instead of fighting against it, turn it to something that you want. we always tend to look backwards. We always kind of live in the past, so to speak. And there was a good story somebody told me one time, which is kind of a visual in my mind, helps me think about this. If you want to go somewhere, let's say you want to take a trip, and instead of just really knowing where you want to go, you just start thinking about where you don't want to go. Well, I really don't want to go to Miami this week. That's not where I want to go. No, no, I don't want to go to Atlanta. That's not where I want to go. Dallas, no, no, I don't think I want to go to Dallas. Well, how are you ever going to get anywhere if all you think about is what you don't want? You got to shift gears, shift your perspective. Think about where you want to go. Where do you want to go on this trip? Okay, let's see. You know what would be fun? I'd really like to go to Chicago. I'd like to go see some shows, walk around downtown. I want to go to Chicago. And that's where you put your attention. That's where you focus your energy. And that's how you build a trip. Okay, I'm going to get an airline ticket. I'm going to get a hotel, yada, yada. That's where you go. And then you figure out what you want to do. It's not by thinking about what you don't want. It's not about thinking about, oh, I don't want to go to Miami. I don't want to go to Atlanta. It's about thinking where you do want to go. I want to go to Chicago. Well, that's what it's like in life. Let's think about where you want to go. Put your thoughts, put your energy into where you want to go. And so that's what this assignment's all about. So back to the assignment. When you have a chance, I want you to find a quiet spot. It could be sitting in your car. It could be a home in your bedroom and door closed and nice and quiet. And just sit back and just imagine living life, and it is just beautiful and stress-free, and you're doing the things you love. And you don't have to have any specifics. Matter of fact, you don't want anything specifics. I want you to concentrate on the feeling. Just think about, okay, I'm living the life I absolutely love, and this is how it feels. Focus on that feeling in your body. Not thinking about details. Oh, if I just, if I had this car, it would be great. If I had this house, it would be great. If I had this relationship, it would be great. None of that. None of the details. Just think about what it would feel like to live a beautiful, stress-free life and that you're just happy as you can be. And how that feeling is. And soak that feeling in. Memorize that feeling. Get it on a cellular level. This is what it feels like to be living a wonderful, stress-free life. So that's the assignment. And that's what we're going to talk about more next time. So I'm going to wrap things up for this week. Please remember, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your age, your gender, your where you are in life, what your job. None of that matters. You are where you are. And you can make changes, and you can make changes in your life for the better. You have the power to create a new and better life. So I hope you join me on this journey. I'm going to leave you with 2 simple things now, and 2 simple things that will make your life better immediately. Sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? But it is. 2 things. First thing is gratitude. Be grateful for what you have, even if it's not much. Even if you live a very meager life, just be grateful for what you are. What it does, it creates a mindset. The more grateful you are for what you have, the more you will have to be grateful for. That's not just a cutesy little saying. There's wisdom in that. Again, it's a mindset that you create. The more grateful you are for what you have, then you just lay the groundwork for bringing in more things to be grateful for. That's number 1. Number 2 is be kind. There's just too much anger and vitriol in this world. We don't need it. People are angry and mean and cruel and say nasty things. And the truth of the matter is, we have no idea what's going on in other people's lives. They may say or do things that we don't like and all this kind of good stuff. That's okay. That's their issue that they're dealing with. It's not personal. It's not you. Just be kind. Be kind to other people. Show random acts of kindness during the day. And while you're at it, be kind to yourself. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do because usually we're really hard on ourselves. We got to learn to be kind. So, two things: be grateful and be kind every day. So, with that, I'm going to wrap it up. So long for now. If you have any questions, comments, please go to my website, rondemonacoaching.com. Leave me a message. I will try my best to respond to you personally or on air. And if you will, like and subscribe to the channel. I'd like for this to grow and as many people as possible to see this. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye for now and look forward to talking to you next week. Thanks.